friends. Welcome back to Healthy Living, Happy Life. Today, we're going to talk about a messenger, we'll say, who you might not expect. Your skin. Yes, your skin. It's talking to you. In fact, it may be telling you something that is surprising. Surprise, you're in perimenopause, even before you actually realize it. Now, we talk about menopause as this kind of one-off thing, but it really is a long period of our life, starting in our late 30s for some, but typically in our 40s, and goes into through our mid 50s. That is perimenopause through menopause. And then, of course, we have postmenopause, which brings all sorts of new things too. At this stage, let's talk about what your skin is actually saying to you early on. Now, you could be in your 40s, you could be in your early 50s. But here's the thing. Once you understand the signs that your skin is giving you, you can actually take action, simple, effective steps that make you feel confident and radiant in your skin, no matter what your age. And here I'm not talking about a nip and tuck, anything like that. I'm really talking about things that we can do at home for ourselves. So this is something I hear all the time with clients. They'll say, but I can't be in perimenopause. I still have my period. Well, yes, in perimenopause you would, because perimenopause is this whole time before menopause, which of course we all know at this stage is one day of your life. It is the next day. It's the day after your 12-month anniversary of not having a period anymore. So we talk about menopause being this thing really when it's one day, and it's perimenopause that really is the challenge that we have. And this is where the major part of our changes are coming from. Okay. So your skin is really telling us a story, right? It's giving us signs. And of course, I am not a dermatologist. I am a menopause mentor. I do have 17 years of personal menopause experience. So I am in the know when it comes to the trials and tribulations of menopause. And truly, I've tried just about everything there is out there. So when I am talking to you, I am talking with confidence and with true understanding. So you wake up one day and it just seems like these fine lines just kind of showed up overnight, right? Your neck starts to look a little looser. And then you get dryness in places that you've never had before. And the weird thing is you even get like itchy ears and an itchy scalp. Weird, right? These are things that are signs, but we don't know what they are. Often we'll say, oh, itchy skin, itchy ears. Oh, I haven't washed my hair. I've been using too much product, whatever it may be. But these could possibly be signs of perimenopause. So what's happening? Da, da, da. We have a decline in our estrogen. Yes, we do. Progesterone also, but estrogen is what I'm focusing on here. We're focusing on here. So we know that more estrogen keeps skin thick and plump and able to repair itself. I say all the time, remember, estrogen has over 400 tasks that it does in the body. We say estrogen and we think, pregnancy. No, there's so many more things that estrogen does for a female body. So when your estrogen levels drop, collagen production slows down, skin gets drier, and becomes more sensitive, right? You may not have had sensitive skin when you were younger, but all of a sudden you're starting to notice that. So I mentioned collagen production slows down. So let's talk a little bit about what collagen is. It is a protein, excuse me, and it supports skin elasticity, so the elasticity of our skin. It keeps our nails strong. It promotes joint, muscle, and bone health. Ooh, collagen is really important, right? Now, it is found in some dietary sources, and I always say, eat real food, and we'll get most of our vitamins and minerals and all the things that we need from our diet. However, this is a case where I'm changing my tune a little bit, right? What are some of the dietary sources of collagen? Number one, bone broth and fish skin. Blech. Now, these aren't typically in your everyday diet, right? And to be totally transparent, both thinking of both of those things makes me gag. So I am not getting my collagen from either of them. I've tried to like bone broth, but I don't. It really seriously makes me want to gag. And so I don't do that. I don't go down that route. Right. There's so many other healthy foods to eat. So if I don't like something, I'm not going to eat it, right? So this is where collagen supplements can help and provide an easy way to get collagen, and it's really simple. You can get collagen powders, you can take it in pill form. Obviously, we want to make sure you're getting the best quality. And since I don't necessarily promote one product over another, in this area, I've been using a collagen. I go back and forth from a collagen powder that I just add to my coffee to a pill. If I'm traveling, I'm going to bring the pill form with me because that's a lot easier. You don't really want to travel with powder. That could be a mess. TSA does not like that when you have white powder in your suitcase. So what area shows this drop of collagen, drop of estrogen the fastest? Around your mouth and your jawline, right? Um, Research and decades of observation, mine and other people's, showed that this area can actually age 10 to 20 years faster with your cheeks. And so that's why you may feel like your face has changed or because it's changing, because in some ways it has. So like I'm talking, around here, like a lot of women, I don't know if you can see it on my Zoom camera. So we tend to get this little line here that it's really a smile frown line, really, if you smile a lot, but it tends to just be these lines here. But the other thing here is jawline here. It can be a little, hey, look, you can see the difference, right? So cheeks, jawline, talk a little bit about the jawline and the neck, right? Because they're connected. So the skin there obviously is thinner. And it has fewer oil glands. We know if you have oily skin or have had oily skin in the past, there are lots of oil glands in your face, especially in your cheeks and T-zone area. But our neck really doesn't have any of that. So that is one of the areas that is kind of like the perfect storm for, sagging deep lines and crepey texture, like that turkey neck that older women get. Well, we also can notice that a little bit younger if we're not protecting our skin in the best way possible. So totally the key takeaway in here is you can't fill every line and expect to look refreshed, right? You'd be going to the dermatologist or the esthetician all the time and have this face that, kind of like Barry Manilow had back, 20 years ago. He looked like he was I don't know what he looked like, but he did not look great after facelift after facelift after facelift. And really, that's not the route that we want to go. That's not natural. That's not kind of part of everyday life, right? So in order to have skin that you love, and again, you're not going to look like you're 20, again, if you're 55 or 54 in my age, right? But you want to support the structure and the skin. So that means smart skincare, healthy habits, and changing up your routine in this stage of life. And that routine could be your skincare routine. It could be your sleep routine. It could be you need to drink more water, right? Dehydrated skin can be very dry and sallow. Well, if your skin is already getting naturally dry because of the drop in estrogen and you're not hydrating, then you've got kind of like a double whammy there, right? So I said this earlier, I have tried a myriad of products from the very expensive to over-the-counter things. And to be quite honest, the best products are going to be the ones that you try that work best for you. I tend to have two brands that I use. In 1 month, I'll use one month, I'll use another. And then sometimes if I'm traveling, there's even a third. When I'm traveling, it's a lot drier. I'm not in my regular routine. So I change things up a bit. And sometimes it's based on the season. Winters in Minnesota can get really, really super cold. And your skin can get very dry, mostly because of the dry air heat and taking hot showers. Hot showers, even though they feel good, are not necessarily good for our skin. So let me break this down into a simple routine with some of the kind of must-haves for midlife skin. First thing, you do want to check the ingredients of any product that you put on your face and skin, really any product that you put in or on your body. You want to stay away from things like parabens, sulfates, artificial fragrances. Those things right away. Artificial fragrances drive me crazy because I can smell something and one, it instantly gives me a headache. But artificial fragrance is fine, but it has to be a natural form of fragrance. Also, mineral oil. That's not really what we want to try to stay away from. And this one is a big one. Stay away from formaldehyde. Yes, I did just say formaldehyde. Yes, that's in embalming fluid. Use it for other things, but the fact that they use it in embalming fluid just kind of grosses me out. So let's avoid that one, right? Surely all of these ingredients can potentially cause irritation to your skin, dryness, which we're trying to fight, or an allergic reaction for some people. And in other people, it has actually been linked to serious health concerns. So really, let's stay away from these and go as clean as possible with our skin products, right? So simply, morning, a gentle cleanser, right? You want to find something that's non-stripping and supports your skin's barrier. Um, a vitamin C serum, as we're getting older, this is really important. A lot of dermatologists recommend the La Roche-Posay Pure Vitamin C, at least according to their website and Google, and some other things that I've read. But of course, and that's actually one of a more budget-friendly option. I mean, there's tons of them, but again, find something that works for you. I have a friend who sells Mary Kay, and these products, I've used her products, they're great products. So have a conversation with your Mary Kay rep or somebody who love and trust. You will probably want some targeted serum depending on what's going on with your skin. So if you have redness, like rosacea or things like that, you want to get a targeted serum. It may not be something you need all the time. I know one of the products or ingredients is squalene, Squalene. That's used in a lot of products, a lot of serum products. And so that would be something to look into. And then, of course, a moisturizer that works for your skin type. Right. If you have dry skin to start with, if you have oily skin, if you have T-zone skin, you will know what works for you best. If you try something, and I always like to have samples. I love sample sizes of things. I know, like the first time I try something, if it's not going to work. That doesn't necessarily mean I know if it's going to work, but I know for sure if it's not going to work. And that could be based on the way it smells, the way it feels, the way it looks on my skin. But again, you want something during the day that's lightweight, but also hydrating. And then, of course, you absolutely always want to have sunscreen. SPF is really, really important because even if it's cloudy out, if you're inside, I'm inside right now, but I have windows over all on the side of me. I'm getting some kind of sun rays coming into the house through the window, right? So always sunscreen. And here's the key: start from your chest and work up through your neck and then to your face. Because what'll happen if you just start with your face, you're going to forget your chest and your neck. And it's summertime right now. So if you have a shirt that's a little low and it's, you have bare chest, your neck is definitely showing. It's going to, those areas are really going to attract the sun more if they're not protected. Because half the year they're covered, right? So sunscreen. In the evening, if you have worn makeup, SPF, which you should every day. I have seen. I've done this. So I didn't do this initially, but I've done this in the last few years with a double cleanse. I start with a cleansing oil. They have a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil, and then go back to your gentle cleanser. Right, I've used the DHC brand cleansing oil for years. I like the way it smells. I like the way it cleans. I like the way it takes makeup off of my face. And it's not that expensive. It's actually reasonably priced. So that's one that I really enjoy. Um, in the evening, especially as we're getting older, we probably want to start looking at a retinol, right? We have a word of caution here. Sorry, my New York accent comes out every now and then. Read the ingredients and start with just a tiny bit. I once used an over-the-counter brand that my skin did not like, and probably used a little bit too much of it. But not only did the skin around my eyes down here and around there get red, all of my eye got red and swollen and itchy and burning. So I was obviously allergic to this particular product or something that was in this product. So I've used a different retinol product for the last few years, and it's fine. So that's really, really an important thing. If you are going to use retinol, make sure it's a good quality one, and just to test it, because I wish I could show you the pictures, but my eyes literally looked like I had gotten into a fight and I got punched in not one eye but two of them. So be very careful there. You don't want to walk around looking like that. Luckily for me, I did not have to be on camera and I wasn't going anywhere for a few days. Because at that point, there was no hiding that. Makeup was not hiding that. And a couple of other things, a hydrating serum, and a rich night cream. Rich night cream, yes. Yeah, these are products that are important. And yes, they're layered. And I understand this may be a little bit overwhelming. I get it. And so this is where visiting your dermatologist or an esthetician will do like a clinical test. So my esthetician, what she does is almost like she takes a screen of, like a screening of my face, and then that goes onto the computer. And based on their computer program, we can see what's going on in my skin. It's really kind of cool. It's freaky, but it's really cool. But then at that point, they can recommend products targeted to your specific needs, right? My needs are going to be very different from yours, depending on your skin, depending where you live, depending on age, depending on how much sun damage you've had through the years. So I really do recommend seeing an esthetician or a dermatologist. So beyond the products, right? When you understand your skin, you can kind of take control of what's happening now and what's going to happen in the future, right? You're going to stop chasing that 30-year-old version of yourself, and start loving the skin that you have now because it looks good. It doesn't look like you're 30 or 20, but that's okay. But it tells a story of your wisdom, a story of your beauty, story of who you truly are at this stage in your life. I think that's really one of the most important things. Obviously, when we look in the mirror, we want to like what we see, right? So this is a great way to start, right? Midlife is not the time to fade into the background and run off into the sunset, right? It is time to glow. It is time to be confident, unapologetically you, and with skin that reflects how good you feel from the inside out. And truly, I'm going to add this piece now that I haven't talked about, is how nutrition is also an aid to your skin. Proper nutrition gives you the vitamins and minerals and hydration that your skin needs. So I haven't even really touched on how eating real food. I said it, even when we're talking about skin, I'm talking about eating real food. How eating real food and really paying attention to eating a clean, a whole foods diet as much as possible. I always say 80% of the time, because 20% of the time we got other things going on, right? So truly, this is a time to reel in what you're seeing in the mirror. What are you doing? Is your nutrition okay? Are you sleeping? Are you using good products? Are you using sunscreen? Right? So if your skin has been sending you signals dryness, redness, new lines, and changes that you can't quite figure out, let's chat. Okay. Let us schedule your midlife. What am I calling this now? My new course is called the Midlife Metabolic Reboot, right? And truly, this is something that is focused on you. It's very individualized, and it's more of a personalized plan that works with your body, not against it, which are so many of the things that we see online, we read in the rag mags, right? This is a program that's going to help you be your best self. So schedule your midlife metabolic flip. That's actually a flip. It's not a reboot. And let's make this chapter your most radiant yet. So thanks for listening. And remember, your skin is your body's storyteller. Let's make it a beautiful one. Till next time, I'll see you soon. This is Denise Stegall, Menopause Mentor, signing out. Talk to you soon.